Big week of picks on the horizon. It is week 12. We're about 75% of the way through the NFL regular season. But the NFL, going through some speed bumps right now. Some COVID concerns. Denver's not going to use a quarterback on Sunday. I don't know how that game's being played. But that is a discussion for another day. But it's officially Sunday. Everyone's favorite part of the week. And I do want to apologize for missing last week's video. Something came up last minute and I couldn't quite produce the video that I wanted to. So I said, you know what? I'll scrap the video. I'll just do it on Instagram. And in case that happens again, check out the Instagram at @NEsportsUnited. We did the picks on there. We went 2-2. So that might be the saving grace. That might be the way to do it from now on. But you know what? I'm sticking hard with the YouTube. And I did miss a few things throughout the week off that I wasn't in the studio. And I missed talking to myself awkwardly in the camera. And I missed, glaring my eyes and missing out on the sunscreen with these blinding lights that my corneas are lighting up. But anyway, big week of picks. That was a shameless plug of the Instagram. I don't feel any sliver of guilt about that. But big matchups in the NFL in Week 12. MVP credentials potentially on the line. We'll check it out in a second. Here we go. But I'm not going to start out with the MVP credentials. Let's go to Carolina going up north, take on the Vikings. Give me the Panthers +3 here. This one's going to be a really close game. Minnesota, awkwardly 1-4 at home. They give up the most yards to their opponent on their home turf. They turn the ball over more at home as well, which is really weird because most teams, they do play better at home, but not the Vikings. Carolina, on the other hand, they've lost 5 of their last 6. They did play well in some of those losses, like the Kansas City game, but they have seen their fair share of downfalls, like the Buccaneers loss at home. Teddy Bridgewater returns to Minnesota, and I think that'll be the leading driving force to this win for the Panthers. 72% completion rate, 13 touchdowns, 7 picks. He's not quite the guy to push the ball down the field. He's not quite the dynamic quarterback that we see a lot of times in the league. But Teddy Bridgewater, he's a safe quarterback. That's why I think his completion percentage is quite high. I do love their receivers. But the Vikings, I think that, they've won a few games in a row now. They did beat Green Bay. But I'm not totally sold of them as a playoff team. They're kind of in the hunt there, but they're really going to have to speed things up if they want to get into the race. I don't see them as a playoff team. I think they're going to come back down to earth at home against the Panthers. Kind of a weird pick. Carolina going up north, weird weather. But you know what? I'm going to take Carolina here. I'm going to take the underdog to win 23-21 over the Vikings. Arizona going up north, take on the Patriots. Now, if you told me within the last 5-10 years that Arizona, a Southwest team, a warm weather city, is going to go up to New England and play the Patriots, especially late November, early December in the season, I would just say, that's a Patriots victory, and I'd feel good about it. Weather alone, that might be enough to seal it. But if you've missed an Arizona Cardinals game, I feel bad for you. They're the most entertaining team in the league. DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray, two of the main reasons why. Hopkins creeping up on almost 1,000 receiving yards on the season. Kyler Murray really etching his name into the MVP race. We'll see how he does there later in the season. Arizona doesn't quite have their defense stitched up yet. Buda Baker is an amazing talent, and so is Isaiah Simmons. They drafted him last year, but they don't quite have that full front ready yet, and they have plenty of time to do it. But Deshaun Watson showed you last week, if you're a Patriots fan, that you don't quite have to have this whole roster totally ready to hang in with the Patriots and especially beat them. I mean, Deshaun showed you in that first half, you can just set the world on fire and the Patriots won't be able to hit the ball back. And although Cam did play one of his best games on the season, 26 of 40, 365 yards, and even threw in a touchdown there for good measure, the Patriots just didn't have enough to really come back in that game. And I think Arizona's going to do the same thing in New England. Give me the Cardinals to win 27-20 over the Pats. I'm sticking with the road teams today. I don't know what it is, but give me the Titans +3 on the road in Indy. Don't forget, the Titans, I know I bailed on them at the beginning of the season, but they have the 4th best defense on the road. You know the cliche, defenses always travel. Tennessee's does, and Ryan Tannehill, he's been better than expected this season. 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Derrick Henry has been the story, though. He's been the MVP of this team. 9 touchdowns. He's leading the league in rushing yards. I know the Colts, they blew the doors off Tennessee last week, and that might contribute to this number. And they did have a nice win against the Packers last week on national TV. It was on Fox. But they almost shot themselves in the foot several times in that final drive. I think it was 9 holding penalties on the whole game. Really weird stuff. Phillip Rivers did come up hobbling after trying to block Zadarius Smith on a run play. Really weird situation there. But Phillip Rivers, he will go, but he's hobbled. I don't know what his status will be. Give me the Titans to win 24-20 on the road in upset fashion, Tennessee. MVP credentials are on the line. Kansas City going down to Tampa Bay to take on the Bucks. Give me the Chiefs -3.5. They're the Chiefs. They're 9-1. They haven't lost since week 5. This is a good number right here. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I mean, come on. And the big question is going to be, can the Bucks secondary handle the Kansas City air raid? Well, they're average against the pass statistically, and the secondary has played better than I originally anticipated. But they give up the 28th most completions on the year. Red flag. Kansas City loves to air it out. And, if you're going to pick Tampa in this game, I guess you could possibly say Tom Brady's going to be motivated after what Arians said to the media about him. If you missed it, Arians said, it's really up to our quarterback whether we win or not. Quick note on Arians. Dude, you're a 500 coach for 3 straight years. Brady has 6 rings. All right, enough said. End of story. End of the conversation. Click. Goodbye. So, Tampa, I've said all year long, they're a good playoff team. I wouldn't want to face them in the playoffs. I've been on the Brady boat. I've been supporting them through this whole thing, but Tampa Bay is noisy right now. They're 1-5 through their first 6 marquee games, especially in prime time, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, stuff like that. They squeaked past the Giants. They're just not very good on the primetime stage, and I'm going to say this about Patrick Mahomes. If he wins this game, especially in dramatic fashion, game-winning drives, things like that, if he wins it in general, MVP. I got to give it to him. I mean, I know Russell Wilson has played well up to this point. He really, set the league on fire. But he stumbled through losses against the Rams, the Cardinals, I think, got him. So, Patrick Mahomes, what do you want me to do? I mean, he's nearly perfect on the season. So I'm going to take the Chiefs to win, and I'm going to give the MVP award, my nomination, to Patrick Mahomes if the season ended today, if he wins this game. Of course, that's subject to change, but give me the Chiefs to win 31-24 over the Bucks.